Hello Internet, I'm Jason, lead writer for MMOHuts.com, and now that Magic the Gathering Arena has entered the open beta phase, I've received a lot of questions on what newcomers to the game ought to know. So today, we're going to look at what new players need to know about Magic the Gathering Arena, as well as some things that could definitely stand to change. Alright, let's talk about some overpriced children's trading cards. Right now, there's a regular play mode and a competitive mode. Despite that, both share a ranking system, but I think there needs to be a separate one, a casual play mode without the ranking system. The latter is standard Magic the Gathering, where you play one match, win or lose, and move on. Then there's competitive, which is a 2 out of 3 situation where your sideboard can come into play. All players start off as a beginner, and depending on how many matches they win and lose, will be assigned a new rank. Here's where the first serious problem comes in. During the closed beta, real money spent was refunded back in the form of gems, which can be used in the open beta to buy packs. This gives a lot of the closed beta population a distinct advantage over all the new players just jumping into the game for the first time. There's nothing more disappointing than taking a standard pre-con and going against someone who's spent $300 and has white-blue Teferi Lock, Infinite Turn, blue-black Surveil, etc. These are decks that are stocked with rares, mythic rares, planeswalkers, special lands, etc. So in that, they have successfully reconstructed the real-life local game store experience. And that's bad. From what I understand, they were going to stray away from that, and I came up with, as I said, a very easy solution. Have a separate ladder for pre-con decks where new players can use that to farm quests, get packs, and slowly build their collection. That way, the players who have established decks can play against each other, climb the ladder, and not ruin the game for new players. Now, there is a deck strength calculator, quote unquote, that is used to create matches, but it still needs some fine tuning. A lot of people I've talked to mostly play against well established decks, even when they're using precons, and all they do is lose over and over again as a result. Now, can you use the stock mono green deck to beat Teferi Lock? Sure, of course you can. Is it likely to happen? No, probably not. This is something that's definitely happening right now, and it needs to cease and desist. Now, I skipped the tutorial personally because I've spent the last several months playing Arena, and I know how it works. But one of my friends pointed out to me that they have no real idea how wildcards actually work because it's not made clear in the still bare bones tutorial. So let's talk wildcards. In your average digital CCG, you have to farm shards, or dust, or some generic nonsense just to make one card. In Magic the Gathering Arena, you have wildcards. Each one is colored and represents a particular rarity. Common is gray, uncommon is blue, rare is gold, mythic rare is red. You receive these in your packs or as a reward for opening packs. You'll see that in the top right of your screen. When you're cracking packs, there will be little meters that fill up, and then when it's complete, you receive that wildcard. What's better is that you can use wildcards on a one-for-one basis and trade that wildcard for any card in that rarity, whether you already have one or not. You do get plenty of them by cracking packs and through your packs, but don't let them go to waste. Figure out what you want to play, then start creating cards with this system. So now, if you need another Tezzeret, or if you need a Teferi, or even if you need a rare land, now you could just pop a wild card and you have it. This is, in my opinion, the absolute best way to unlock cards you don't have in your collection. You can also get more cards in the optional play modes. The game does a very good job of giving you gold, which you can use 1,000 gold on a pack, or you can use gems, and put it to use on the various game modes that pop up. These events change from time to time, and typically you go until you lose 3 times or get 7 wins. As of this video, there are 3 different major event modes, so I kind of want to focus on those. The first is a draft. Drafts can use either gems or gold, and the gold cost is of course higher. The one that I saw last time was a core set 2019 draft, but this changes. And for about 5,000 gold, you make a 40 card deck of that set's cards. You pick a card from a set of rotating packs until you have enough to build the deck. If you win matches with this deck, you'll receive rewards, and even if you lose all 3 times, you still generally get at least a pack and some crystals. If you don't actually want to play the matches, you could just use this to hunt down cards you might need for a deck. Constructed events are for people that already have decks that they're confident in running. You select a deck, pay the gold or gem toll, and start playing matches. Very simple. Constructed events give gold and random cards for winning, so these are the cheapest to get into. Sealed events right now are gem entry only that I've seen, but in the Guilds of Ravnica sealed event, for example, you received 6 15 card packs, and even if you go 0-3, you received at least 3 packs and 200 gems. That winds up being a lot of cards. It's kind of pricey to get into, and I wish the cost were a little different, because this means if you don't already have gems, you have to spend about 15 to 20 bucks just to get into the event. That's not too different from real life Magic at least, but still I would keep an eye on these events as they rotate in and out, as these are a great way to harvest cards and individual packs once you're on your feet. I noticed in the home interface there's a button at the top right that toggles all play modes and arena play modes, but I guess it just opens up more event options, but I don't really get why that's there. Now that you're armed with some knowledge, what do you do from here? How do you maximize your time spent? The most important thing to do are your quests. Every 12 hours you receive a new quest, and you can stack up to 3 at a time if you're not logging in frequently. And these are just really easy. Play this many spells, play this many lands, play this many creatures, kill this many creatures. None of those require you to win. So even if you lose, you can still get your gold. Then there's the daily gold bonus, which you can receive multiple times. I believe 10 a day for winning matches. Next to that, you'll have your weekly reward. This is when you get 5, 10, and 15 rewards, you receive a free pack. Finally, beyond that, you can receive a deck simply for playing a match or some other requirement, and that happens intermittently. I don't really know what the requirement is. I think that's also a weekly or maybe a couple times a week. These aren't like tournament winning decks, but they usually come with cards you don't have or might not have if you're new, and it's a good way to see what potential decks would work in the meta. Now, this would only work better if there were a casual, non-ranked ladder, like I said earlier. Not everyone wants to constantly watch their elo rise and fall every time they play. I think completing quests would be a lot more enjoyable if there were a casual ladder or a pre-con ladder of some type where only pre-built decks could be used. Now, I love Magic the Gathering Arena, and this is the best way I can be an active part of the community again. The game is currently in a pretty brutal, unforgiving state to new players, just like the physical card game, but there's no reason for it to be that way. This is a chance for Magic the Gathering to open up and welcome more players instead of push them out in favor of people who just want to spend tons of money and climb the ladder, and to hell with those other people. I'd also love to see a friends list pop up for single player and custom matches. I'd also love to see Two-Headed Giant or Emperor in this custom match feature, or other assorted house rules for private fun matches of Magic where you can just get 1 or 2 friends together and just mess around and have fun without having to go to the local game store. The most important thing that needs to change, in my opinion, is the new player experience, but don't fear, we're still going to put out plenty of Magic content here on MMOHuts YouTube channel to help with deck ideas, strategies, anything that can help the Magic community grow. Do you have suggestions for these for more card game content? Let us know in the comments below. I've been Jason. Many thanks to Colton for making this all look nice, neat, and organized, and we will see you next time right here on MMOHuts.